Now, on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, the House remains paralyzed this morning after another failed speaker vote for Republican nominee Jim Jordan. We have the latest on the chaos on Capitol Hill. And the family of a slain teen is finally getting some closure this morning after nearly 2 decades. The teen's killer, Joran Vandersloot, confessing to her murder as a stipulation of his plea deal. 25 News Now is following. And in the crossroads of crisis in Cuero yesterday, a man threatening to take his own life, but Cuero police were there to talk him down. We'll tell you what we know about the situation. That's coming up on Sunrise.
And we're going to be heating up into the 90s this weekend and 80s next week as we got some thunderstorm chances next week. We're going to take a look at that and the weather coming right up.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today it's the 19th day of October 2023. The time is now 6:31 on our Thursday morning. And as the temperatures begin to get cooler this fall season, you may be tempted to be making soups. It's soup season officially.
Soup season.
And today it's National Seafood Bisque Day.
So is that a soup, I'm guessing?
It's like a kind of creamy soup. It's not quite a chowder. A chowder has a little bit more cream in it, but I had a lobster bisque recently.
Lobster bisque.
It's delicious.
That's also another soup? Mm-hmm. I'm guessing the bisque word means it's a soup.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
I believe
gotcha.
It's a French word.
I'm not a big seafood person. Actually, my girlfriend's begging me to get into seafood. I tried some yellowtail and some fried snapper.
What about redfish? Have you tried the redfish yet?
I haven't tried that yet.
Still have a lot to try, Parker.
Absolutely. Well, it is a good day to go fishing. If you take a look at the weather here, it's going to be another warm one today. We'll take a look at that fishing forecast in a few moments. But look at those temperatures for the rest of the state today. Pretty much just 80s for all the state today. Maybe a couple select areas in the 90s along West Texas and maybe some in northern Texas as well. But we're going to be dropping to these 60s overnight, and then 90s tomorrow is in the forecast. 93, 92, and pretty much on all of our neck of the woods tomorrow. We'll take a look at that closer in a little bit. As we take a look at what's going on this week, we're going to have a dry line and a low. Yes, no, your eyes are not deceiving you. There is a surface low up here in North Texas around the Dallas area right now. I know there's nothing in the isopressure bars right here, but there is one up there. Just believe me, trust me for now. There is a dry line that's going to come through our neck of the woods tonight. We're going to take a look at that here in a second. And it's going to actually warm us up, as a matter of fact. And usually when you get some kind of frontal system or frontal boundary, you get cooling down, but it's actually going to warm us up as that solar heating commences. We're going to have another system come through our neck of the woods next week as this low exits the Pacific, and that's what's going to bring us those rain chances. If we look at the dew points here, you can see that dry line making its way through here. As that's dry air is in brown and humid air is in green. That's going to make its way by tonight, and tomorrow it's going to be a quite dry and hot day tomorrow. Maybe bring up that fire risk. As you take a look at that energy chances for next week, as that southerly, the strong streaming southerlies return to the area, we're going to have all that energy in place, making a good shot for showers and thunderstorms pretty much all of next week. And we'll take a look at that especially closer over the next few days. But for now, back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. After a second vote, the House of Representatives has failed to elect a speaker. The Republican nominee, Ohio's Jim Jordan, fell short of the 217 votes needed. Jordan was nominated last week after House Majority Leader Steve Scalise of Louisiana withdrew from the race. Democrats are backing House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries of New York. Jeffries said Democrats would be open to working with interim Speaker North Carolina's Patrick McHenry. The next vote is expected to be held today at noon. Now to the Natalee Holloway case. After 18 years, Joran Vandersloot has confessed to killing the Alabama teenager. He's now describing in his own words what happened on that beach in Aruba so many years ago.
2 decades after she went missing during a high school graduation trip to Aruba, we're now hearing from Natalee Holloway's confessed killer.
She asked to go back to her hotel, but I was just trying to get dropped off a little bit further away from her hotel, so we could walk back.
Joran Vandersloot now confessing to prosecutors as part of his guilty plea in a federal extortion case where he was accused of demanding $250,000 from Holloway's mother in exchange for information about her daughter. Vandersloot, seen here with Holloway at an Aruba casino hours before her disappearance, says the two were later kissing on the beach, but then Holloway denied his further advances.
She knees me, she ends up kneeing me in the crotch. When she knees me in the crotch, I get up on the beach, and I kick her extremely hard in the face.
Then Vandersloot says he found a cinder block on the beach and bludgeoned her.
I decided to take her and to put her into the ocean. I walk up to about my knees into the ocean, and I push her off into the sea.
Her body was never found.
It shocks the conscience. When you extort money from the victim that you bludgeoned, his mother, who does that?
Holloway's mother says with Vandersloot's confession, the family's long nightmare is finally over.
I did what I had to do as a mother to find answers as to what happened to my daughter. And I feel great about today, and I did everything possible.
As for Vandersloot, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison. He now heads back to Peru, where he's already serving 28 years for murdering another woman. Vandersloot apologized to Holloway's family, saying he's not the same person and has given his heart to Jesus. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
A man is undergoing medical evaluation this morning after threats to harm himself. It took the Cuero Police crisis team to talk the man down and get him into safety so they could help. The man did fire a gun before surrendering, but police say no one was hurt. The situation happened at a home in the 100 block of Alamo Circle around 4:30 yesterday. The man did eventually surrender to police and was taken into custody. Authorities have not yet released the man's name, and it is unclear if he will face any charges at this time. And just to remind y'all, 988 is the suicide hotline. A man whose authorities say is responsible for a shooting last Sunday is in police custody. 36-year-old Cody Eggemeyer arrested yesterday afternoon near the city of Westhoff. The suspect was taken down without incident by DeWitt County Sheriff deputies and Texas DPS. Eggemeyer is accused of shooting 54-year-old James Lubiinski of Yorktown. Eggemeyer is in the DeWitt County Jail and faces several felony charges this morning, including attempted murder. All charges he faces are felony charges. James Lubiinski was airlifted to Brooks Army Medical Center in San Antonio, where he was treated and released. An arrest warrant was issued for him following the shooting. He surrendered Tuesday night to the DeWitt County Sheriff's Office. Lubiinski charged with aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury, a second-degree felony. In honor of the National Toy Hall of Fame's 25th anniversary, the Strong Museum will be inducting 4 toys this year. 3 toys will be chosen as usual with the guidance of a National Selection Advisory Committee, but a special 4th inductee will be chosen by you. 5 multi-time finalists who have failed to make the cut in previous years, known as the Forgotten 5, are up for a vote. On the ballot, Transformers, The Pogo Stick, Pez, My Little Pony, and Fisher-Price's Corn Popper. The final inductees will be revealed on Friday, November the 10th. And here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. Early voting in Calhoun County begins Monday, October 23rd. The Calhoun County Ministries Food Pantry Administrator is warning of a food shortage and low donations. Plus, one lucky winner in El Campo receives a 2023 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend vehicle after buying a raffle ticket. Wow, it's pretty lucky. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com. And I just want to remind y'all of that suicide hotline. It's available 24/7 in English and Spanish. All you have to do is dial 988. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:39 on your Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. The next time you vote in Victoria County, you'll be using the most advanced voting technology out there.
President Biden is back in the United States after a whirlwind visit to Israel. I'm ABC News' Liz Landers with all the details on his visit.
And coming up after the break, we're going to take a look at that fishing forecast, that school bus forecast, and that 7 days. We take a look at those rain chances that are coming up next week. Good morning, Crossroads. You're looking at a live look at Cuero right there on your screen. It is a clear morning right there, and actually make it really nice to see. I think that's a star right there, and just earlier we did see some good stars on that camera. Well, it is a cool one this morning. 57 degrees is that ambient temperature this morning, with the dew point at 55, though, bringing the humidity to a high 93%, which is pretty normal down here on the coast. Always humid. Well, if you're sending your kiddos off to school this morning, it's supposed to be about 57 and sunny and cool this morning, so make sure to dress them cool for school, but maybe pack them just a jacket for today, because it is going to warm up to 88 degrees, sunny and warm this afternoon, making it a good day to go fishing, rather. We take a look at the fishing forecast here. We already had our high tide this morning a couple hours ago at 3:40 in the morning, but that low tide will be this afternoon about 3:11 p.m. with winds west-southwest about 5 to 10 knots out of the west-southwest, making those seas and bays smooth at 1 to 2 feet with a water temperature of 72 degrees. Look at that 7-day. We're going to be warming up this weekend into the 90s again, and maybe even 80s next week, as we've got those rain chances returning next week ahead of the next frontal system. That's it for weather. We'll have more in just a few moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. And now to the latest in the war that's broken out between Israel and Hamas. President Biden was on the ground in Israel yesterday in a tightly secured visit that was both diplomatic but also personal, as he met with family members kidnapped and taken hostage by terrorists. He's also made some commitments to helping civilians in the region.
This morning, President Biden returning to Washington after a wartime visit to Israel, making his support for the United States' closest ally in the Middle East clear.
I come to Israel with a single message. You're not alone. You are not alone.
The president's high-profile visit, securing a deal with Israel and Egypt to allow safe passage of life-saving aid to Gaza alongside the United Nations and the World Food Program.
Israel has been badly victimized, but, the truth is that if they have an opportunity to relieve the suffering of people who have nowhere to go, and if they don't, they'll be held accountable in ways that may be unfair.
Biden also meeting with victims' families and first responders. The president's visit came shortly after the deadly hospital explosion in Gaza that killed hundreds of people.
Based on the information we've seen to date, it appears the result of an errant rocket fired by a terrorist group in Gaza.
Several Arab leaders have publicly accused Israel's military of bombing the hospital, triggering protests across the region, with people shouting anti-Israel and anti-American slogans.
America is the devil, the real devil, because he supported Israel.
Before he left, President Biden also acknowledged some of the lessons learned from past U.S. involvement in Middle Eastern conflicts.
Justice must be done. But I caution this: while you feel that rage, don't be consumed by it. After 9/11, we were enraged in the United States. While we sought justice and got justice, we also made mistakes.
The president will address the nation during a primetime speech tonight, which he will deliver at 8 p.m. from the Oval Office. In Washington, Liz Landers, ABC News.
The next time you cast your ballot in Victoria County, you'll be using the latest in voting technology. Margetta Hill, Elections Administrator for Victoria County, held an open house demonstration of the new voting machines yesterday. These new machines will be easier to use, quicker to operate, and more reliable. Plus, when you vote, your ballot will print on paper. Hill says voting is now a two-step process. Every time you vote, your vote will be stored both electronically and on paper to maximize accuracy.
I just want everybody to, when they come and vote, to remember you'll mark it and then you'll leave it in the tabulator where they scan it.
All polling locations in Victoria County from now on will be equipped with these new polling machines. That leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, are you voting in the November election? Let's take a look. 88% of you say yes, you are, and 12% of you say no, you are not. Thank you for taking part in our viewer poll. Lavaca County Elections Administrator Amy Claisel resigned last Wednesday. The Shiner Gazette reports Claisel said she quit her job, citing, quote, a very hostile work environment at Lavaca County, unquote, as her main reason for departure. Claisel specifically named several people in her resignation letter, including County Judge Keith Mudd. Judge Mudd said he was shocked by the resignation and thanked Claisel for her service. Early voting in the state's constitutional amendment election starts Monday. And here's a look at some of the top headlines you can read in the Courier Record. The DeWitt County Historical Museum celebrates 50 years, and the Courier Regional Hospital is hosting a blood drive today from 10:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. in the education classroom. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com. Coming up, we hear from our friends from Moody Gardens and all about the holiday offerings they have there.
Good morning, Crossroads. Well, we're going to take a look at what's going on this week as we got a dry line sitting just north and west of us right now. It's going to move into our neck of the woods by this evening. It's actually going to heat us up quite a bit into the 90s this weekend as all that dry air is in place, making that solar heating quite effective and heating up that surface. Well, what's going to happen after that dry line passes, this high pressure is going to move into the Gulf, back into the Gulf, and that's what's going to bring back that southeasterly flow, southerly flow out of the Gulf, bringing the humid, warm conditions back to our state ahead of the next system that's coming out of the Pacific next on Monday. That's going to move into the Rockies by Monday, and it's going to move into our neck of the woods by next week, bringing us those rain chances. If we take a look at the energy that will be in place ahead of that next system, we take a look as that southerly flow returns, all that warm, moist, buoyant, humid air is going to come out of the Gulf, giving us some good shots for showers and thunderstorms next week. Take a look at that dry line. You can see the dry air here in brown and the humid here in green, and you can see that dry line moving through the area by this evening, making a really dry and hot day tomorrow. So we might be on that fire danger tomorrow. That's it for the weather today. And Carolina, I hear you have a guest this morning.
I'm now joined by Jeree Hefner from Moody Gardens, here to talk to us about their holiday offerings. Welcome, Jeree.
Hi, thank you so much for having us.
It's always great to see y'all when you make it to town. So tell us what's in store for the holiday season at Moody Gardens.
So we kick off on November the 18th, and it goes all the way through 50 Days of Fun till January 6th. So you have to come out. We have we have over 9 holiday attractions.
Wow.
So we have Iceland, which this year's theme is a rainforest holiday, and our slide comes back. We also have our Festival of Lights. We have the 3D and 4D theaters. We've got an Arctic slide. We have ice skating. We have a dinner show at our hotel called A Christmas Wish, a holiday spectacular. And we have so much more.
Wow, so much fun, tourism, and then also there's the animals too that we'll see.
So Moody Gardens' mission is for conservation and education, and so we that's the beautiful thing about coming to Moody Gardens, and that's why I tell everybody when you come, you really should stay, at least for one night, staycation for the day, and stay with us one night so that you can get that full experience of going to all of our attractions, our aquarium pyramid, our rainforest pyramid, and really embracing all of the educational offerings that we have as well as all the fun.
So the key to really enjoying Moody Gardens is staying the night.
Yes, I really do. I'm not just biased in saying that. I'm a mom. I have a bunch of kids, and I really do stay there. Like even working there, me and my family will still staycation every now and then when we want to just escape the world, and we'll go and stay at the hotel and just spend a night. We've got brunch buffets. We have buffets on both Thanksgiving and Christmas this year, so you don't even have to dirty up your kitchen. And we just have breakfast with Santa every Saturday. I mean, there's so much to do. So when you stay, you actually have time to enjoy everything.
Wow, it sounds like a lot of fun and a way to spend time with the family. And if you're from the area, I know my family lives in Humble. I live here in Victoria, but I could just pick them up and head on over to Moody Gardens for some festivities, because you run out of places to go, right?
Right, and we're open 365 days a year, so we are not closed on Thanksgiving or Christmas Day. We are open.
Wow.
So it's a great little plan, you know, if you want to escape for just a little while and bring your family on down. And we have s'mores, we have the fire pit, we've got Festival of Lights.
And you can take portraits there. They have people that will take your photo.
We have all kinds of family photos, and even this year we have some fun theme nights on our value days where you can do matching pajamas, ugly sweater, Dickens attire. It's the 50th year of Dickens, so we've got a lot to offer this year.
Really make some great memories.
Yes, absolutely. It's one of my family's favorite holiday traditions.
Well, how can we learn more?
So everything is on our website at moodygardens.org. And I tell everyone, if you'll go to the website, on the top right, if you'll click packages, that's the best place to start. That gives you that affordable way to wrap up your hotel and your entrance to all of the attractions in one, and it makes it the most value savings on picking out your stay and what you're going to do.
Valerie, I am looking forward to getting on my computer and doing just that. You got me so excited.
Good.
I'm going to have to pitch it in the next family meeting.
Yes, I like it. Thank you so much.
All right, well, thank you, Jeree, for joining us.
Yes, thanks for having me.
All right, well, don't go anywhere. Coming up, news to know before you go. A U.S. Marine was killed at North Carolina's Camp Lejeune Wednesday evening, and now another Marine suspected to be involved in the death is in custody. A statement from the base says the Marine died after an incident in the barracks on base earlier Wednesday. It's unclear how the Marine died or what led up to the incident. The U.S. Department of Defense has not yet responded to a request for comment. At least one person was killed and 2 others were critically hurt in a mid-air collision above the Salt Lake County Flight Park on Tuesday. The collision between a longtime Utah paragliding instructor and a hang glider left the instructor dead and a woman he was paragliding with in tandem critically hurt. The two collided mid-air with a solo hang glider and all 3 crashed to the ground. The paragliding instructor died at the scene while his passenger was taken to a hospital in critical condition. Initially, police say the pilot of the hang glider was released at the scene, but on Wednesday he was transported to a local hospital with severe injuries. It's unclear what led to the fatal collision on Tuesday. The incident is under investigation. Republican Congressman Jack Bergman is eyeing a bid for U.S. House Speaker. Bergman, who represents Michigan, says he's prepared to step up to the role as, quote, Jim Jordan's path is narrowing by the hour. Bergman is pitching himself based on his 40 years in the U.S. Marine Corps, saying he knows how to put others first to accomplish the task at hand. A statement from Bergman's office says he is not aiming to climb the ladder and would only seek to be Speaker for the remainder of the 118th Congress. Pro Football Hall of Famer Terrell Owens was not hurt when a car hit him Monday. That's from the LA County Sheriff's Department. Owens told responding deputies he was involved in an argument with the suspect after a recreational basketball game. He said the suspect got in the car and began driving away, hitting Owens in the knee with the car. Authorities say Owens was not hurt and declined medical treatment. Owens later joked on social media, quote, "Hope the car is okay." After her brother was gunned down in 2012, Jessica Mejia and her mother wanted to legally migrate to the U.S., but like millions of migrants who want to move to the U.S., they discovered how difficult it is. Read about Jessica's story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. We want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV or Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a final check of our forecast with Parker.
Thanks, Carolina. And well, if you're waking up with this morning, there's that purple sky. It's that sun starting to come out. It is cool one this morning, sitting at 57, 58 degrees this morning with a dew point of 55, bringing the humidity to a high at 90%, which is pretty normal down here on the coast. Well, let's take a look what's going to happen this week. We're going to have a dry line move through our neck of the woods this evening, making it actually warmer over the next few days going into the weekend. And then after that dry line moves off, we're going to get this high pressure to settle back down into the Gulf of Mexico, bringing us those streaming southerlies ahead of next week's frontal system, which is actually going to give us a good shot of rain next week. And take a look at that energy that will be in place. It's that energy is that buoyant, warm, humid, moist energy that can be lifted into showers and thunderstorms. Look at all that energy in place for pretty much the entire next week. Look at that 7 day. We're going to be warm to the 90s with those rain chances sticking around next week. As for weather, you have a wonderful Thursday.
Thank you, Parker. Have a wonderful Thursday. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Join James, Don, Matt, Corinne, and Gina today for 25 News Now at 5 and 10. And don't forget, Friday is just one day away.